My name is Clementine Parker. I moved to Lismore in July 2020, and I moved from Brisbane, and I love the Northern Rivers. I thought it'd be a great place to set up. I just didn't expect to be flooded out. I just got my stuff sent up just before the floods from Newcastle, from the storage facility. I was just unpacking the last of it, cleaning the house the evening before it flooded, and it was so peaceful and nice. I was told it was going to flood at 5 a.m. in the morning, and my friend said that he could pick me up at 4 a.m. and that's what I planned to do. And then it just started pouring down with rain so heavily that night, and then I got these text messages close to midnight saying, SES warning, get out, life-threatening situation, go to a friend's place. And I was like, oh, great. And then the alarm bells went off when I saw the trucks with flashing lights going behind the house and down the street, already picking people up, and the rain got so heavy that I just panicked, and I messaged my friend and I said, can we just go now? And we ended up leaving at 2 a.m. and the water went over the wall at 2:30 in the morning, so we just got out of there just in time. We were still driving through flood waters and it was bucketing down. It flooded 3 meters above the top of my house, and my house was at Queensland. It was 12 meters high as it is. So had I stayed, I would have been out the back of the house floating in the water, not even in the house. And I had an inflatable floaty I was going to use, but I don't know how long I would have lasted on a floaty hanging out the back of the house. But I lost half of my things, if not more than half of it. And it's just a lot of hard work, and everyone was stressed and traumatized. And then I came back by boat about a week later, a bit earlier than that, to check up on my neighbors. So I couldn't get access to the house, and I was concerned and went back. The neighbors on the right of me, the hotel went completely under, and he had to get all the people out of the hotel, and he was the last one to go in the car. And as he drove out, the wave came and it went into the car, so he almost drowned, but he got out and he swam across to the petrol station. So he was very traumatized, and later when we found him, he was in the hotel rooms in Gunnellabar. There was food shortages because everyone did this panic buying in Coles, and there was no food anywhere, so we were cooking meals and taking it over to him. But he's not reopening that business. That was it. It was the end of that. And the neighbors on the left side of me, they stayed with their business. They were also working from home, and they put all the equipment up in the roof, and they ended up in the roof cavity there, and they couldn't leave because everyone's advice was get into the roof. And so again, they were suffocating with all the petrol fumes in the water, and they were trying to hail down the boats. The boats kept going past. They weren't noticed till the last one. It was like the third or fourth boat that finally saw them waving out the window. They came and rescued them, so they climbed out the window. I felt so bad hearing that story afterwards, because I felt like I should have woken them up, although it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I should have done something, because both neighbors were still in the house, and I'm the one who got out and they didn't. When I came back by boat and went to the house, it was a mess. The doors had come off, the windows were cracked, the walls had swelled, the whole hot water system fell over, the fridge, the washing machine, cupboards were broken. There was just crap everywhere. You can tell it was very turbulent. The waters came in, they lifted everything up, and it was just violent waters, and they threw everything around. And the only thing that survived really, I don't know, somehow miraculously, was this plastic tub full of books, and I had a porcelain doll that was possessed, and it was sitting there on the tub, and the tub went from the living room to one of the bedrooms, and there wasn't a scratch on the doll, no mud, nothing on the rug on there or the tub. It was just there, and it was the only thing that really survived. And everything else that I took such care to put up on the chairs, the couch, the bed, off the ground, because I thought it would only flood a couple of inches or something, it was all ruined. And Himalayan salt lamps completely dissolved, everything electrical gone, and just the shock of it, going back and seeing mud everywhere. And then days later we come back to clean everything, and there's insects and lizards in there, and the putrid smell, and my papers, I lost those, and they were valuable to me because I did a lot of studies, and I was setting up a business, working from home. I had everything in hard copy. It was just scattered everywhere. The pages are glued to the floor because it was a hardwood house, wooden floorboards everywhere. I couldn't save those, so all my paperwork gone, my whole business gone. My dreams shattered really. I had musical instruments, they all flooded, anything electrical's gone, and just the shock of it I'm still coming to terms with losing everything. I don't feel like starting over. That's the truth.
So with the like if you get rain now, does that affect you? How do you feel hearing rain or seeing rain?
I don't like heavy rain now. I have to say it does make me feel very uncomfortable. Any pictures of floods, being next to like large bodies of water. I do go swimming, but I don't like the idea of too much water or particularly heavy rain. It makes me feel very stressed out. A lot of the trauma still happened afterwards. You know, although we were stuck on a hill in Gunnellabar, there were helicopters flying over us. There were, you know, fears of food shortages. We just had to wait out for a week or something. One of my friends who was supposed to be living in the house wasn't in the house. It was stranded out in Nimbin or that sort of area. So, you know, it was really like horrible worrying about people where you didn't know where they were, and then also not having the security of food and not being able to go anywhere and just waiting there. You know, that tension, that anxiety builds. As a renter, I got out a bit easier, but I still lost all my belongings and my stability in my home. And the way I dealt with my trauma is I went to see a healer, a couple of sessions, and they're really helping me. It's just energy body work with healers, and then brain spotting EMDR therapy, just dealing with the memories of everything. And so I feel a lot more settled, but definitely I was dreaming about the floods the first week or so. Like it was just all in the air, you know. You couldn't close your eyes without seeing something, someone drowning or some other flood stories. So yeah, it was definitely quite an experience. And then just cleaning everything. I did a lot of work on my own, but I had a bit of help, but it was just exhausting. It was just clean mud every single day, you know. But I did get through it, and as I mentioned, I lost half my belongings, if not more, and starting over again just seems so daunting, particularly with the housing crisis and everything. I guess the positive side, if there is a positive side to this, we did eventually get the help that we needed with a bit of financial assistance, and we got furniture given to us and things like that that replaced what they could, so there was help available. But I think a lot of the people outside of town were not aware of the full devastation of the floods, like that it's not just happens and it's over, it continues. You know, like I was renting and my landlord still has to repair the house, and it just got sold before it flooded. So, you know, we're looking at a place that's going to take months and months to repair the damage, and he doesn't even live in the area. So, you know, a lot of people had to fly up to work on the house, and you know, the fact that someone's just bought it now, then they don't want it anymore. So just things like that, you know. I think a lot of houses are in that position, that they're under construction and nobody wants them anymore. And just the expenses, I do feel for, you know, everyone else going through this. I really wish there were more boats, and we needed more help at the time when the emergency happened. And also we didn't get the warnings, so, you know, everyone just went to bed, and that was shocking to me. Like, it's such a big disaster, and we should have been warned, you know. And I really hope this is never allowed to happen again, because it's devastating. There were lives lost that shouldn't have been lost, and we're not just talking people. There's obviously pets and children and, you know, wildlife. And in the hotels where I've been staying, we've had someone walk in and completely destroy the room, trash it to bits. The kind of stuff that's going on. We've got people who are very traumatized in there, also still trying to fix their houses, paying rents on a property that, you know, is still in shams, mortgages and things. Like it's every day you wake up to it. Every day there's another story, there's another thing. And I think a lot of people are very lost still, and I think other people don't realize what's been going on. But we do need more healers, more psychologists, more support, like I think emotionally, not just financially, but we need better housing as well. people are getting put into like pods and caravans as well, and that's not really suitable. Like I heard, you know, sometimes a small pod or a caravan, there's just put a family in there, and you know, you need more room, you know. And I just feel like something needs to be done about the housing crisis here. You can't just put everyone in a caravan or a pod. It's not going to work. I mean, we need air conditioning in summer, and people have claustrophobia, they have trauma, they've got other needs, and yeah, the hotels are great, but I don't know how long they're going to keep that up for. And it's just that, and again, a lot of trauma, and so people need still the counselling. And as far as I know, most councils are booked out. It's pretty hard to get hold of someone, so yeah.